Hey there, it is Ryan Seacrest with you. Do you want to make this summer unforgettable? Join me at Chumba Casino. It's this summer's hottest online destination. They are rolling out the red carpet with an amazing welcome offer just for you. So don't wait. Dive in now and play hundreds of social casino games for free. Your chance to redeem real prizes is just a spin away. Care to join me?
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Alex Yee. I'm a triathlete, and yeah, I'm super excited to be going to the Paris Olympics.
Hi, I'm Marion Franklin, a GB canoe slalom athlete.
Yeah, I'm Joe Clark. I am the Olympic champion from Rio 2016.
I'm Joe Fraser, Team GB gymnast.
Hey, my name's Emma Wilson. I'm a windsurfer. I'm really happy to be selected for Team GB for Paris 2024.
This is Anything But Footy, en route to Paris 2024, and our final stop, London.
And for a podcast called Anything But Footy, we're in a football stadium. We're in the London Stadium, home of West Ham United. But of course, the reason we're here is for the London Diamond League. We have fantastic memories of this venue, and it's great to see the track here, and it's great to see 60,000 people in for athletics.
I'm John.
And I'm Michael.
And the headlines from the Diamond League in London, the anniversary games, as you say, the venue of London 2012.
Are we still calling it the anniversary games?
Some people do.
Okay.
I've seen it out there. Keely Hodgkinson breaking the British record, a world lead in the 800 metres, 1:54.61, a personal best for her. Same for Hudson Smith, a British record, a European record. We've had American wins in the 100 metres, Noah Lyles and Gabby Thomas. Laviai Nielsen, under 50 seconds, a personal best in the 400 metres. We'll hear from her. Molly Caudry in the pole vault. The women's 4x100 metre relay looking strong, but the men drop the baton again.
And what I would say, my first kind of reflections is, I think from a British point of view, some terrific performances. As you say, Keely Hodgkinson, I had a quick chat with her after the race as well, and I kind of just said, look, you're in form, aren't you? And she just grinned and went, yeah, I am. She knows that, you know, she's putting it together at the right time. We know that she's got this wonderful opportunity. No Atimu there. She keeps telling us that she's upset about that, and I think she's probably truthful, that she wants to beat the best to be the best. But we won't remember that in years to come. What we will remember is Keely Hodgkinson, Olympic champion, if it happens. Hudson Smith, another guy that has had some significant challenges in his life. Came back to form in 2022 at the Commonwealth Games, his home Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Brilliant on the track. But just another couple of performances, I think, to mention as well, which just shows where we've got the right trajectory ahead of Paris. If you look at Keely's run, look what happened behind her. Gemma Reekie, Georgia Bell, both personal bests. I mean, they probably won't win medals in Paris, I would say. Gemma Reekie and Georgia Bell
bronze.
Could sneak a bronze, get into the final. Anything could happen. But all you can ask of them is that they perform the best they possibly can be on the biggest stage they can possibly compete on. That's what they did today.
And in both the 800 metres women, which you were talking about, and the men's 400 with Hudson Smith, so Keely went under 1:55, which is an 800 metre runner, is impressive. And of course, Hudson Smith for the first time going under 44 seconds, 43.74 for a European and British record, and beating, you know, Karani James amongst the field. And that shows what form. And you spoke to him afterwards, and he's like, it doesn't really matter, I want to do it in Paris. And that is pressure. He's putting that on himself. But what I think is really good is that he's not coming out here going, hey, the big I am.
Unlike Noah Lyles.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
But also Charlie Dobson in that race, a personal best time for him, finishing fourth as well. So again, that just goes to show that strength in depth, that team of 60 that British athletics have selected to represent Team GB, representing Great Britain and Northern Ireland, all going in the right direction.
So in the women's 200 metres, Gabby Thomas, US trials winner, bronze medalist in the individual from Tokyo, silver in the relay, and she had a national, or a meeting record, they call it, a Diamond League meeting record with her victory in the 100 metres. And she came, in the 200 metres I should say, and she came bursting through. Dina was leading for quite a long way, and we spoke to Gabby afterwards, and she said, I could see Dina in front of me, and I was trying to get to her, and she went past her. And unfortunately for Dina and Daryl Nita, they finished third and fourth. but again, season's bests. And you kind of think, well, yeah, Paris is 3 weeks away for them.
Yeah, 22.07 for Dina. Darryl fourth in 22.20. Remember, they'd run a leg of a relay beforehand as well. So, you know, there were a lot of events today. They had run a leg of that 4x1 relay as well. I think you have to build that into it. And still having run that leg to then come out in the individual, a season's best. And I know we are talking now that the Olympics are just a few days away, but whilst we're talking that the Olympics are a few days away, they are. The track and field at the Olympics is still well over a week away. So there's work there, as you say, that can still be done.
And they were fast, those 4x100 metre girls for Great Britain. A meeting record, 41.55. It was Dina, Imani and Darryl was the final leg, and Amy Hunt as well in that four. So again, looking strong, and we know how quick they are. They're going to have to beat the Americans. Maybe the Jamaicans will come back in Paris, but looking really strong. But let's talk about the men in the 4x1 before we go on to the men's 100 metres.
Yeah, Noah Lyles. I mean, he is aiming to do something that no one's done, which is 4 medals on the track. He's aiming to win the 100, the 200, the 4x1 and the 4x400 metres. So, you know, my friend Carl Lewis, who I spoke to in Manchester, I interviewed him in Manchester. Yeah. I mean, he did the 100, 200, 4x1 and the long jump, of course, and that is phenomenal, take nothing away. But to do 4 golds on the track, to go from 100 to a 4x400, and I chatted to him afterwards. That was a great thrill. I mean, I might not quite put that up there with Carl Lewis just yet, but I might do, as history.
And he got a personal best.
Yeah.
Noah Lyles, 9.81 is the fastest that he has gone in the men's 100 metres. As you say, he's only won an Olympic bronze. So to now say I'm going to win 4 Olympic golds, that's a big leap.
Yeah, and I think we're still looking, aren't we? We're still looking for the successor to Usain Bolt. I mean, you don't ever have a discussion about men's sprinting without still talking about Usain Bolt, who actually stepped off the stage a little while ago. He wasn't there in Tokyo. We know that Marcel Jacobs won the gold medal for Italy. So, from that point of view, you would say that the field is fairly wide open, but I think you would say that Noah Lyles is the one to beat. From a British point of view, Zano Hughes, I mean, we know he pulled out of trials with an injury, didn't look on it today, didn't stop and speak
I'm going to
to
say
anybody.
This now, I don't think he's fit.
No, I don't think he's fit, and I'm hoping that the week or so that he's still got to try and get fit is useful for him. But I think, we know that he's good. We know he's Olympic medalist quality. We saw that last time around, but he doesn't look the same athlete at the moment.
He was 6th in the race. Before they started, only him and Johan Blake, remember him, world champion from a few hundred years ago, only those two had not run under 10 seconds this season in that lineup, and Zano Hills still hasn't run under 10 seconds. So he ran his season's best, but it was flat 10. Yeah. While Louis Hinchcliffe finished in 4th, 9.97, shows that what Carl Lewis, your mate Carl Lewis, he's doing the business with Louis, and Jeremy Mizzou was 7th as well. And I think, let's be honest, the men's 100 metres title, which everyone cares about in Paris. Everyone wants to be there. We saw that today. Everyone wants to go and watch the men's 100 metres, and it will be the same in the Stade de France. But I can't see. We've got a great crop of British sprinters. If Louis Hinchcliffe can get amongst it and get to the final, I think we're doing well.
Yeah, I think, and we saw a baton being dropped in the relays as well.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that.
There's another medal opportunity there for the sprinters. I think we might see Brits in the final, the Olympic final of the 100 metres. As much as I want it, and as much as I think Louis is on the right path, this is very much a breakthrough season for him. We have yet to see what else might be brought to this party. Obviously, Jamaican sprinters, even though the Usain Bolt era is over, we can't write Jamaican sprinting off as well. I think it would be good to get to the final, and as we've always said, I think we've already said it in this podcast, you get a lane in the final, you're in contention. What can happen?
Also a season's best for Jessie Knight in the 400 hurdle. She finished 5th in the race, so she goes to Paris on form. And as we heard in the headlines at the start, Laviai Nielsen, a personal best, under 50 seconds. She finished 5th in the 400 metres. As you'll hear from the interview that I did with her afterwards, she's hoping to go quicker in Paris.
Not just a personal best, sub 50, that is a huge elusive barrier for me and for 400 metre women. I think most 400 metre women wants to go under 15. I knew I had it in me, I just knew, and in a way, I kind of knew that I would do it here. There's something about this stadium is so special, and it just always gives me a lift, and so happy to be leaving with the 49.
Why is this stadium so special?
Would you like me to list them? It is, I mean, this is the stadium where I was inspired to commit to the sport entirely. I put my all into it starting 12 years ago, 2012. This is the stadium where I won my first world medal at the World Championships in 2017. This is the stadium where I broke 51 for the first time, that was 5 years ago. And now it's the stadium where I've broken 50 for the first time. So this stadium really, really is my favourite place in the world, and I really mean it.
And 60,000 people here, what a send-off for Paris.
Oh, I'm so grateful for the British crowd. We've got the best fans in the world. They are so knowledgeable, they know so much about you. I think a lot of them cheered when they saw my time as well, so I kind of felt like I was sharing it with 60,000 people, which is so special. I love it here. I think we need more competitions here, hopefully, in the future.
And you mentioned about going under 50. Can you go faster?
Absolutely. You know, I said to my coach early in the year, let's peak for August. I don't care what happens in May, June, July, as long as we're in Paris and we're running our fastest in Paris. And I really trusted him in the journey, and we've only been working together less than a year, and I'm so excited for our future as well. I think we're only just getting started.
Final question, how do you keep the emotions in check for the next couple of weeks? Because athletics starts in 2 weeks, but the Olympics is less than a week away.
Yeah. I think, you know, we've been working towards this the whole year. And so I think now it's just it's going to be a lot of rest. I think the past few weeks as well has been really emotional just in making the team. That's never a given, it's never guaranteed. So even with those emotions, it's been kind of hard in the last 2 weeks to keep that under check. So I think now it's just, we're there, there's nothing more we can do. Let's just relax and enjoy the moment.
Laviai Nielsen speaking to John. This is a special edition of Anything But Footy, less than a week away, en route to Paris. We're actually in London though, at the Diamond League Athletics, just recapping some of the headlines and the highlights of what was a terrific event. I mean, just in general terms, 60,000 people packing into the London Stadium again for an athletics meeting. You know, British athletics will be happy with that. We know that World Athletics were there, and they'll be looking at that as they select a host city for a future World Championships. And we know that those World Championships, we've got Tokyo, we've got Beijing, might be time to come back to Europe. And I think if World Athletics are looking today, looking at the crowd coming out, they'll be thinking with memories of 2017 as well, London would be a safer sure bet.
And we spoke to a couple of people as we were walking out, just having a chit chat, because the crowd was, as you say, so vast.
2012 vibes, wasn't it? People were just chatting.
Yeah, and one lady that I spoke to was like, this is my first athletics meet. There was stuff going on all the time. I thought there would be more gap between. But what I have done is booked the date for next year in my diary, and I want to come back. I don't want this to be my only athletics meeting. And that is what British athletics need, isn't it? You want people to keep coming back. And I tell you what, if you can continue to sell the amount of tickets for that one day, what did they say? What did Paul Foster tell us, who now with London Marathon, British Athletics and his group Great Run, they now run these events in this country. He was like, that's the biggest athletics meeting apart from Paris.
Yeah, and I think what is crucial about that is that if you want to bring the likes of Noah Lyles, and you want to bring Femke Bol, and you want to bring Ryan Krauser to this meeting, you want to bring those big global names, so names that people will know on the world stage, names of people that will probably win Olympic gold medals. They will want to come and run in London more than anywhere else. They can pick and choose the Diamond League circuit. We know that they're remunerated for it. There is obviously points up for grabs and everything, but they want to come and run in London because, as Noah Lyles said, it's not a big deal, track and field in America. They don't get these kind of crowds. So the opportunity to come and compete here in front of 60,000 is still a big thrill for them, and which is why they're here and running through jet lag a week before the Olympic Games starts.
Well, you said jet lag because Ryan Krauser finished a shock second. This is the double Olympic champion. He told you he wants to be the first man to win the shot put 3 Olympics in a row, but he effectively said, I have just serious jet lag, as he threw 22.37 compared to 22.52 from Fabri of Italy. Again, it shows the strength of Italy, where they're just, you know, going quietly about their business, and we saw quite a lot of the French there today preparing for their home games, of course. Slightly disappointing, maybe, I would say, Molly Caudry in the pole vault. I think she finished 4.65 metres. That's quite a way down on the 4.92, which is her best this season. I wonder whether the wind, Noah Lyles talked about the wind, didn't he, infecting him? Maybe that was an issue for the pole vault today. She's got a bit of pressure on her, Molly.
Yeah, we've put expectation on her, I think, certainly since the World Indoors. And, we've got this lovely little run of pole vaulters from Kate Dennison to Holly Bradshaw. I always still want to call her Holly Bleasdale, but Holly Bradshaw, and now to Molly Cordery. She's still very, very young. I think we need to remember that. She's still very much learning the event. She had a terrific indoor season, but to come outdoors and to come in, big stadiums like today and that 60,000 crowd, when you've got that level of expectation. But again, she's got that little bit of time now where her coach, family, friends, support team, whatever, can just go away, maybe try and reset a little bit. I think obviously we look at the track and we look at the field team from a British point of view. We've got lots of track chances, therefore in the field I think we're trying to pin it on Molly, because we want a field chance. It's more limited options there. With the mixed events, we saw Katarina Johnson-Thompson today, and I know you had a little chat with her afterwards, didn't you? Well, I was speaking to Daryl Nita, and she hasn't got an Olympic medal. She's got 2 world titles.
Don't say that to her, though.
No, I've made that mistake before.
I did say to her, so she jumped 6:54. It was her first long jump of the season. She was happy with that. She said, I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm feeling good for Paris. And I said, how much do you think about the Olympics? She said, well, I can't stop thinking about the Olympics. But if I had a pound for every time I've been asked about unfinished business and winning a medal in the Olympics, which she hasn't done yet, she said I would be a millionaire, and it does frustrate her. So I didn't ask her that question.
I'm guilty of that. I've done that. I asked her that exact question and got that face.
So she feels good going into these games. So look, quick word on George Mills and Neil Gourlay.
What happened there?
We don't really know what happened in the
early
Carlisle. Yeah, George Mills certainly not very happy in the mix zone, and Danny Mills, his dad, was not happy either from what we saw. But they will go in the 1500 and the 5000.
The key thing is, as it was when we saw that fall in trials involving Josh Curtis, they both got up. They're fine.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a bigger concern for me if they'd stayed down or there'd been more of a serious injury. I think it's a knock to the mental side of it, in that they obviously were there today as part of their preparation.
And they want to compete.
And they wanted to get a few more metres in the legs. It's all part of the master plan, the process as they talk. And I think that wasn't part of the process today, but no serious damage, no harm done.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward.
I think we've just walked into the Eurovision Song Contest.
It's like, why do people walk around with mobile phones blaring out? Why can't they just wear headphones? Why is this a thing?
I don't
need to hear whatever that nonsense was.
An old
man. I'm definitely not on TikTok. However, anything but footy is. You can follow us on social media. We've got another podcast to come before Paris 2024.
I'll be in Paris for that one.
London Diamond League has been a huge success. I won't call it the anniversary games again. And we look forward to next year. Well done to all at British Athletics and the team. And we're looking forward, as you say, to Paris 2024. We are en route to the Olympic Games, which are now just days away. And all I've got to say to you, Michael, is bon voyage and
Merci.
au revoir.
Merci beaucoup. À bientôt.
Sports Social Podcast Network.